Well, hello YouTube. Back in the shop again. I didn't forget about it. I know the address. I didn't forget where the shop was. Nope, just this thing called life, gets involved. So it's been a week since I've been here and everything. So if you guys remember from the last video, we have all the longerons and then all of the ribs. We got to pull the bluing off of them and get them scarfed up, ready for paint. We're not going to be able to paint anytime soon. The weather kind of turned south on us here in Florida. It's a little muggy, a lot of humidity with the rain. It's just the perfect blend of don't paint. So that's good though, because we do have other things that we can do in the interim. So what I want to do is finish this evolution. So I'm going to get the longerons ready to be ready for paint, get everything prepped, get all the ribs ready for painting. And then what we'll do is we'll probably proceed on to doing some fabrication. There's some doublers. I've been doing some reading, and there is a doubler in the tail cone section, and we'll get to that. I want to go ahead and get that doubler made up and ready to go. The reason being, and get it in place. The reason being is that it's an antenna. It's not in the plans. It's not part of the plans, but hey, it's an experimental aircraft. I can do what I want to do. But there is a doubler. A lot of guys in the Vans Air Force, and got my Vans Air Force hat on, have said, go ahead and do it while you can get to it. Go ahead and get that doubler in there, because if you want to put an antenna in that location, and most people do, you're going to need to put a doubler in there, and it's so much easier to get to it now while it's apart. No, and it's, no harm, no foul, right? It's just a doubler, and a doubler is just basically, if you guys notice, the skin on a Vans or on any airplane is pretty thin. So what a doubler does is it gives it some support. So I'll go ahead and take this time to get that doubler in. The other thing is I've been helping a friend with his doing the programming, and this is a problem that a lot of airplane owners have when they're on the ground and they want to use their electronics to either do updates or to do patching or just to kind of familiarize. The problem is you run those electronics off your battery, it's going to run your battery out, right? And it's not a good thing to do. So what I am doing is I'm putting a plug in for a GPU, a ground power unit. So I saw another RV10 site that I follow, and I'll put the name in the description of the site. And he did a really good job of getting the GPU, the ground power unit plug, mounted on the underside, and I kind of like what he did, so I'm going to do the very same thing. So I'm going to take this time that I have between painting, and I'm going to do that fabrication and get that done. So you're going to see me put a doubler in the back tail, which is not part of the Vans plans, but it's highly recommended since we got it open. And then we'll do the cutout for the GPU and the plug as we are waiting for the weather to participate with us. I mean, it's not that bad now, but we do have some storms coming in, and the paint booth that I have is a blow up. It's a bouncy house kind of paint booth. And so you got to make sure, you don't want water if it's any chance of rain or anything like that. The other thing too is the added humidity with the lower temperature. Paint doesn't do really well. I mean, it's one thing if we are at higher temperatures in the 80s or 90s with the humidity, because that will flash off quicker. But when you're in the 60s and 70s with the humidity, it just adds a lot of moisture to the paint, makes the paint a little chemically brittle. So so the bonding attributes of the paint aren't that great. So you got to kind of judge. So we got some time, no rush. Still haven't, if you've been going out to my website, the blog n622rv.com, they're nowhere near with the wings, so I'm nowhere ready for the wings. So I've got a lot of stuff that I still have to do. and I might as well just take this opportunity to do it because there is no indication that the wings are coming anytime soon. So I got time. Yeah, famous last words, right? I got time. So hang loose. Like I said, we've got the ribs and the longerons to get ready for paint. Then when we get done with that, I am going to go ahead and proceed to mark out the doubler placement and then put in my head what I am going to do there. And then I've got to go to the box store, get some sheet good to make the doubler, so the thickness, get some of that done, and just got a lot of stuff to do. So just a little piddly stuff. And then of course you got to remember, I still have the elevator of the left side elevator that I need to finish up. So yeah, so we got plenty of work to do. It's just, but you know the routine. Plane's not gonna build itself, so I gotta get to work and quit talking. All right, YouTube. So we have the longeron here, and I figure what I'll do is I'll show you some deburring. You've seen this before in the video. What we're trying to do is, if you look at those holes, when you drill a hole through metal or anything, you're going to develop burrs, especially on the back side of the hole. So it's very important that you get rid of those burrs because they will cause the part to, when you rivet, the parts won't come together because these are metal shavings between the parts. Now, you should, when you rub your fingers over them, you can see that was not the Scotch-Brite pad that was here before. This was a new one. So I pretty much mangled this one too. So as you rub your fingers over them, you'll feel, if you feel any kind of sharpness, you still got a burr and you got to do it. But the goal is not to chamfer the part. It's just to knock down that shaving. So let me try to hold. And as you can see, the little chips that come out of there, those are the shavings. And what you're trying to do is just get these things, get those little edges knocked down, because that will cause your rivet not to lay flat. And if your rivet does not lay flat, it has the ability or the potentiality, is that a word? The potential of getting vibration. And vibration is what wears or fatigues metal. So that's why riveted airplanes are so durable, in the sense that they're tight. There's no room when you compress the part together. There's no room for it to vibrate. And so, as you can see, that's all you got to do. And then what I did is I just bought this cheap or inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap, but an inexpensive, you know the name, from a box store. It comes with a flashlight. That's kind of crazy. So an inexpensive, oh, that's how you turn it on. There you go. That's pretty nice. Inexpensive screwdriver. Now, you don't want something with high RPM. You want it to go very slow, because like I said, you're not trying to chamfer the edge. You're just trying to knock the burr down. So I've got a complete, there's a big burr right there. I gotta get the video on it. See how that knocks that down? And that's what you're trying to do. You want that edge to be as flat as possible. Because you want good connection between the rivet and the part. So got a little bit more to do. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you and everything. And this is actually the last longeron of the deburring and getting ready for paint. I got all the other parts there. So with that, I'll just say thanks for joining me in the shop. And yeah, it's next thing we'll be doing is I'll be getting the flat skin, which is laying over there on the ground. I'll be getting that up here, and we will be mocking up a doubler plate for the rear antenna, for the possible rear antenna, and we'll get that mocked up. Like I said, if you guys watched the video at the very beginning, it's, I don't want to say off plan, but it's not in the plans to do that. I'm going to fabricate the piece, put it on there, because everywhere I read said that you're gonna put an antenna back there more than likely, and it's better to have the doubler already there and already in place while you can get to it before you seal it up. Because once you seal the tail cone up, the only way to get to that part is someone is going to have to climb in there and do it themselves. So it's better to get that in there as as early as possible. So we'll be doing that, and I'll be shooting a video of that probably later this week. So all right, so enough of that. Like always, be safe, take care of yourselves. Looks like we're coming out of the darkness here as far as the COVID goes and everything. And if you have any comments or concerns, feel free to leave them at the bottom. I'll get to them as soon as I can. It's not like I got a whole lot, so so leave your comment and I'll get to you guys the minute I see them. And like always, may God bless you and keep you safe.